liver is unappetizing, then think again, because this next recipe is certain to change your mind. It's inexpensive and delicious chicken liver mousse. And it's fantastic as an addition to your holiday hors d'oeuvre menu. Nora Singley's here to take us through her personal recipe for chicken liver mousse. You might have your own, and don't forget to make it because it's really tasty.
It is so delicious.
It's
one of my very favorite things.
Well, I like it as a sandwich.
Ooh, that would be good as a spread.
Rye bread, yeah.
So good.
With lettuce and a little bit of chopped onion.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
I made it for a party last weekend, and everyone was
You did not invite me.
I'm sorry.
I did not get invited.
Next time.
Oh.
Everyone was asking for the recipe, and it was gone in a flash. And I think, you know, people really love chicken liver mousse, but they don't know how to make it, and they don't realize that it's a little easier than you might think.
So you have to find good chicken livers, right? And I'm just pulling out some of the membranes.
Great.
Okay.
So you can do that.
And put them into butter?
Yes, I like to use a good amount of butter. This is a really silky, kind of luxurious chicken liver mousse, and so I do.
So it's like a pate, really.
Yes, and I want people to kind of consider it that, you know, more like a elegant French pate rather than something that you might think of like a chopped liver.
Poor man's foie gras.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And since we're not eating goose livers on a regular basis now because so many states are banning them because of the inhumane raising of the geese and the ducks, this is a very good way to...
Definitely. And it's everywhere in New York, too. I mean, every, you know, gastropub that you go to is serving chicken liver mousse. It's so good with white wine and beer and everything. So, and it makes a great gift. And we'll talk about packaging
ideas. Are you a
ideas.
gastropub goer?
I love gastropubs.
You do.
I'm a follower of the gastropub movement, you could say that.
Okay.
So we're going to saute 1 pound of the livers in 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're just going to get a really nice sear on them. I really like to get a really golden color.
Any scraps, I just want to remind people who have cats. Cats 5 cats in my house sitting on the counter waiting.
That's my memory
waiting
of chicken
for
livers
the scraps.
growing up, was feeding the chicken livers to the cats, but now I save them for myself.
Yes.
So 1 pound of chicken livers seared off. I like to keep them a little bit rosy pink in the middle. And, you know, take them out of the pan and reserve the skillet for the rest of what we're sauteing. I'm going to add another tablespoon of butter to the skillet. And you can see there's really nice brown caramelization from the chicken livers. And that's going to, you know, we're going to use the same pan so we, you know, retain all the flavors of the chicken livers. I have 5 shallots thinly sliced. I'm going to get that sauteed with the butter.
Salt and pepper on here?
Salt and pepper. And I like using the shallots because it has a really sweet flavor as opposed to maybe an onion. You see onion typically with livers, and the shallot is really, really nice. So 5 shallots, and then if you would add some aromatics, thyme, cinnamon, cloves, and a tablespoon of light brown sugar, and 2 pears that are chopped up. Use ripe pears.
And the skin can stay on.
Skin is totally fine because we're going to strain later. And the pears and the brown sugar add the most amazing sweet quality to this mousse. And I like the addition of the pears as well because fruit and meat is really, really nice together, you know.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to cover this and let the pears get really, really, really soft. And it goes for about 15 minutes or so.
So the livers look really good. If you can you get the camera in here and just show how it turns from this deep reddish color to a lighter brown? I love how it looks when it cooks.
Yeah. And like I said, you can keep them rosy pink in the middle, and then you won't get that kind of grainy, livery, you know, consistency. So this batch is already done. The pears are really soft.
Oh, you have the livers already cooked?
Yes, the livers are cooked. They've cooled slightly. They're in the food processor. And I've removed this from the heat. There's no heat on here, and I'm adding just a 1/4 cup of pear brandy. And that's going to kind of pick up some of the drippings on the bottom of the pan.
Okay, well, I'll do that.
Okay, and I don't want to cook off the brandy either. This is the holidays. This is a nice gift, so you don't mind a little bit of that boozy flavor. And don't feel compelled to use, you know, pear brandy. If you have any other kind of brandy or Calvados or even port or sherry, anything would be really nice. So, Martha, if you could transfer the pears to the food processor. And I'm gonna add the rest of what we have here. And this is what's gonna make this mousse moussey, really kind of silky.
What is?
3 tablespoons of heavy cream.
Ah,
That's
the
you know,
secret. Okay.
3 tablespoons of heavy cream. It's
I mean,
not that much. I was
no.
looking at other recipes to compare, and this isn't so, it's not super rich, and you eat it in small quantities. So 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, 5 tablespoons of butter, and a little bit of nutmeg as well.
Freshly grated.
Yep.
Any more salt and pepper?
I like to season after it's all blended.
It smells so good.
You can go ahead and start blending.
And what about the vinegar?
This is 2 tablespoons of aged balsamic. And aged balsamic is kind of the secret ingredient here. This is not your typical balsamic vinegar. This is not vinegary at all. It's syrupy and sweet, and you could almost drink this stuff. And if you don't have aged balsamic, you can reduce 1/4 cup of regular balsamic vinegar with 1 tablespoon of white sugar, and it becomes syrupy and delicious. So you can easily do that. Now this gets strained, and this is also kind of the trick to this mousse. Straining it gives it a
and you're using a
fluffy,
very,
textured,
very fine strainer.
Exactly,
Yeah, very
and that is
fine.
really, really, really important. You want this to be spreadable and really, really nice. And this is so great to make in advance as well, Martha.
Well,
because
doesn't it
the
get better?
flavors marry,
Yeah.
especially with a little bit of that liquor in there and the butter, and
wouldn't-
everything kind of starts.
I wouldn't
to,
put all of it in at once because you have to really push it through.
Yes.
So.
And I have it here packaged. I top it, you can put it, this makes nearly 3 cups of the chicken liver mousse, so it makes a really nice gift. And chicken livers are going for $3.29 a pound right now.
That's
at Whole
today?
Foods, which
Oh,
is
good.
incredible. So
Okay.
this is such a great value.
Oh, so it really is smooth when it comes out of this strainer.
really
If you have a
smooth.
chinois, you could use that too,
You
right?
could do that too.
Okay.
So I've topped it with a little bit of clarified butter and a little sprig of thyme. And the best part I
Very
think about
easy.
this is this red onion and golden raisin jam.
May I have a taste?
Yes, the recipe is on the website, and a really that sweet component with it is really nice. And I love serving it with fruit and nut breads, and this is toasted brioche. And it's just one of those things you don't necessarily think of as, that you could make so easily, and, it's so elegant. So it's one of my favorite things to do.
I'm going to remember to make some of this for my holiday party.
Oh, good. Well,
Yes.
we have plenty of these little jars. That would be, they're cute presentation.
They are. They're pretty like that on the
Yeah.
buffet.
Yeah.
So great. Thank you for sharing your recipe. And you should try it. Chicken liver mousse, sort of like a pate. Very good.
Visit snapfish.com/Martha to receive 50% off photo books and calendars. Enter code MARTHA at checkout. Offer valid for a limited time, so start creating today.